Hello, everybody. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5. Welcome to Open. Coming up on today's show, we'll celebrate Juneteenth by taking a look back at our conversation with the executive director of the recently opened Louis Armstrong House Museum to shine a light on the legend and how his legacy has impacted the jazz community. Then we'll reflect on a conversation we had with a former broadcast radio professional, an honorably discharged U.S. Army veteran, and writer who spoke about the history of racism, race relations, and much more. Plus, we'll revisit our set and sit down with a gospel singer, actress, director, and an advisory board member for the African American Day Parade, who spoke most recently about the parade and highlighted her latest work. Finally, we revisit an old conversation with the founder of an all-access community development corporation who educated us on the importance of Juneteenth. So sit back, kick off your shoes, and relax your feet. We're open. Here we go. Hey everybody, I'm the Doc Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS. You are watching Open. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. You can stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Leading things off, we are fortunate to be joined by so many talented artists on Open, but we also took time to honor the artists of yesteryear. It's important. Our conversations with the Louis Armstrong House Museum's executive director, Regina Bain, she allowed us to celebrate the life and legacy of jazz legend Louis Armstrong. Let's take a look. Regina, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things happening in that area right there. You have the Louis Armstrong School. You got his home where he used to live, and now you got the museum that's opening up. Talk about it.
So, Louis, of course, hopefully folks know Louis Armstrong.
Yes.
He was born in New Orleans, but he lived in New York for 30 years with his wife, Lucille, on 107th Street in Corona, Queens. He was a hit trumpet maker, voice maker, and most people know him from What a Wonderful World, but he had hit songs for
Oh
five
yeah.
decades.
Oh yeah. Hello,
Mega
Dolly.
mega star. But he lived for 30 years in New York, and some people don't know that they can come to his home, take a guided tour. And Lucille is actually the person who made sure that we have this legacy and the legacy of so many other things in Queens that are named after Louis Armstrong. She helped to make that to be after Louis
Yeah.
passed in 71.
Any correlation between BB King, and the guitar Lucille, and naming his instrument Lucille? Did they know each other?
No, no connection there. But I think Lucille was, you know how names they evolve
Yeah.
over time, and there are some names that become popular. Lucille was a
A
popular name
popular
at
name.
that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. So when are we opening up? Is it is it a grand opening date
We are
set?
open right now,
Right now.
right
Right away.
now.
Right
So
today.
yes, so the historic home has been open for guided tours since 2003.
Uh-huh.
But the new Armstrong Center, right across the street from the home, just opens on July 6th. So that is our party where we had 400 people on the block coming in and seeing the space. The architects were Caples Jefferson architects, and
Yeah.
there were a host of folks who came in to help us with this building. Queens College really helped to make this happen, along with the Louis Armstrong Education and Foundation, who have been our partners for decades,
Yeah.
bringing this to light.
And if you don't know Louis Armstrong, you got to Google him or do something or go to the New York Public Library or read one of my books, People to Know in Black History and Beyond. He's in there.
Excellent.
And why was this so important to open up the museum featuring such a giant as Louis Armstrong?
Black history is important. Black history is American history, and we must keep the legacies that are our birthright.
Yeah.
And we are so lucky to have this site. We're lucky to have the 60,000 piece archives, the largest archive of any single jazz musician,
Wow.
that is now completely digitized and
Hmm.
searchable 24 hours a day. And this is his letters. He had hundreds of hours of recordings, pictures, and all of that is a part of That's My Home, the new exhibit curated by
Wow.
Jason Moran. And so you're seeing that exhibit there. It has archival materials, so different selections from the 60,000 piece archives that create a story that
Yeah.
people can check out.
And they have the kiosks there where you can listen to some of the music.
Most definitely. So people can pick up a speaker and put it to their ear and hear the stories, hear some of the work, the videos that we have in our
Mhm.
archives, and they can learn more about the music. Of course, they can always go to our website, lewisarmstronghouse.org, and learn more
Yeah.
about Louis Armstrong and get tickets because it's a ticketed experience.
Who better to talk about it than an artist like you? You're an artist and an educator, and you're serving the community. Do you play one of the instruments? You play a trumpet?
So I am not a musician. I actually was an actress. So I went to the Yale School of Drama and studied theater. I have a deep dedication and respect for art
Yes.
and what art does for people's lives, what music, what theater, what all forms of art do for humanity, for all of us.
Yes.
And I'm an educator. My mother was a teacher. My grandmother was a teacher. So I was looking for something
Mhm.
that brought art and education together, and that is the Louis Armstrong House Museum.
There you go. Woo. So, some of the other things that you didn't talk about. What are some of the other things that we can expect when we step into the museum?
So, of course, for our museum, we want to preserve and share the legacy. So that's the guided tours, that's the archives. But we also want to live the Armstrong values, values of artistic excellence, of education, and of community. So artistic excellence means contemporary artists who come and do research in our archives and create new works.
Yeah, I see. In that clip that we saw Assemblyman Jeff Aubrey there. What did he have to say?
Yes,
He's very instrumental in our community.
yes. And hopefully you all can hear me. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
I
perfect.
hear some other people speaking. You hear that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do. Okay,
I
that I think that cleared it up.
That cleared it up.
But
We
yes,
just had to speak
just
about it, right? We had to talk about
yes,
it.
yes. Like,
If you
what's
hear
going
something or
on? Okay,
say,
okay,
if
we're
you
clear.
hear
We're
something
clear.
or
We're
see something, say something.
clear. So, Assemblyman Aubrey
Yes.
is amazing and has been working to make this museum happen for decades. There was a Queens College newsletter from 1999, and it said the Louis Armstrong Educational Foundation has purchased a lot across the street from the historic house, and on it will be built what we have now. It took 24 years, 24 years of dedication from our community and community members like Assembly Member Aubrey to make it happen. And so he was there at the ceremony, and we were so pleased to have him.
Yeah. When is the museum open? Is it going to be open 24 hours a day? No, probably not. But what's the times that it will be open?
Thursday through Saturday, 11 to 4 for guided tours, when you can book the tickets online at lewisarmstronghouse.org. But on other days, we're open for group tours.
Hmm.
So if you'd like to bring your classroom, if you'd like to bring your senior center, other groups, you can book on other days. You just go online and fill out the form, and we'll figure that out for you.
What are people driven to when they step into the museum? Because what's the main attraction that people want to see or hear most?
they're they're driven to the atmosphere. They just want to be in the midst of what it of greatness of what this man
Hmm.
represented. They're driven to the trumpet. The King George V gave of England gave a trumpet to Louis Armstrong, and that is on display. They're driven to the Grammy from Hello Dolly, and then if they take the guided tour into the historic house, No one has lived in that house since the Armstrongs. All the furnishings, the
The
wallpaper, the
original.
art is theirs.
Yeah.
And so it feels like you just stepped through time back for when they were living there. And you can, as a part of our experience, we have archival audio. So you can
Yeah.
hear Louis and Lucille talking as if they were in the room.
Yeah.
Because he recorded himself and he recorded and Lucille talking, sometimes fighting. He recorded all of that, and it's a part of our archives, and it's a part
That's
of the
real.
historic house experience.
Yeah. He was also an actor too. Speak about that. He was in a number
He
of
was in
films.
over 35 motion pictures. He was the first African American to have featured billing in a Hollywood film. He was one of the first artists to have in his contract that he would not play in a place where he could not stay. So this
Exactly.
was when there was segregation and Black artists could not drink water, use the bathroom, definitely not stay in a hotel in many places. And he got big enough where he could say, actually, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
I will not play here unless I can stay here.
Yeah.
And helped set a precedent for other artists.
Yeah. And a lot of people went through that. And they had to work the chitlin circuits. That's what they called it back then, and stay like undercover. And you couldn't eat at certain places, couldn't drink the water, and it was just
Mhm,
terrible. But I'm glad he
mhm.
stood up and said, you know what? If I can't stay here, I can't play here. And that's a beautiful
He
thing. He's
was one of
recognized
the
for that.
first.
Yeah.
I mean, he was born in 1901. This is in the reverberations of slavery. This is before the civil rights movement. He's breaking barriers and being one of the first to open the doors. And so we're so thankful for
He
him
would be
for
about
doing
122 years old right about now.
it. Mm-hmm.
Something like
And
that.
you
He was
know, he
born
had
in
two
1901.
birthdays.
Do the math. 1901.
He had two birthdays. While he was alive, he believed that his birthday was July 4th. But after his death, a birth certificate was found that said August 4th. And so we celebrate both of his birthdays at the Louis Armstrong
Yeah.
House Museum. Why not
Yeah.
celebrate as
Why
many
not?
birthdays as we
Why
can?
not?
We do that with concerts. We have lots of concerts throughout the year in
Yeah.
our garden. And now in the new Armstrong Center, there's a 75-seat performance venue. And so if folks sign up on our newsletter, when they go to our website, they'll learn about the performances. We just had Catherine Russell, jazz legend vocalist. Jason Moran is going to be performing in the new jazz room on September 23rd. On July 29th, we have some trumpet players who are going to be performing. And if you have a young person in your life between ages 8 and 12 and they want to learn to play the trumpet,
What?
sign up on our newsletter on our website, and you can get classes for free.
Look at that's beautiful. And I like that they have a new jazz room where artists can come in and perform. Are those hours listed? Are they scheduled where people
So,
can see?
so the season is not out yet. Because we just opened, we're gathering our season together.
Yeah.
So, and when folks sign up to the newsletter, they'll see that there. But we're so excited for what this jazz room will bring. We are definitely about history. We are a museum that is preserving through archival, through the historic house, but we're also about the future. We want artists right now to know the legacy that they're in and be able to perform new works.
Beautiful.
So we have something called Armstrong Now, where we work and give residencies. So if you are an artist out there, an artist from the Black diaspora who wants to uh, apply, check us out, and we would love to work with you.
What's that website again?
LouisArmstrongHouse.org. That's LouisArmstrongHouse.org.
Thank you so much. Regina Bain, Executive Director, Louis Armstrong House Museum. We love you. Thank you for that great information. And you're always welcome to come back again.
Thank you. Would love to.
Yeah, we're going to catch you in there. Maybe we'll do something from the jazz room and we'll do it live.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
great.
All right. Talk to you soon. Thank you. And I'll see you soon.
Be well. Thank
And we appreciate everything that Regina and our friends at the Louis Armstrong Museum are doing to honor the legacy and the legend himself. And everybody has to get an opportunity to go over there. You got to check it out. We'll take a quick break. We've got more Open coming up next.
BronxNet is a wonderful place because it inspires people that want to consider a career in film and television. It's a way to come, learn, it's cost effective, and it's a way to actualize your dreams.
Congratulations, BronxNet, on your 30th anniversary. Bronx Best is my show, and I had a great experience being able to bring my story to the Bronx Network. It's really changed my life, and I look forward to growing with the network, and I think that it's a wonderful place to grow and learn, and I think that everyone should take advantage of all the wonderful programs and things that go on here.
Congratulations to BronxNet on its 30th anniversary. And I'm blessed that I was here shortly after the beginning of BronxNet. At that time, I took the field and studio classes, and I spent a lot of time helping other people have shows before I put my toe in the water and decided to have a show for myself. For those of you who are familiar with the Blackwash Televised Art Gallery, that was my first show on my own. And now I am pumping up La Finca del Sur, doing Eating Healthy with La Finca del Sur on BronxNet's Channel 70. And I appreciate everyone watching.
I remember when the Bronx did not really have a media outlet properly representing the people of the Bronx.
BronxNet provides for the community by being a community where people can be empowered to share their voices.
We are in a really great place technologically. We've got all the resources that we need to be effective.
Whether it's through cameras, storytelling, editing, we have provided those services for 30 years.
BronxNet's mission is to be a voice for the community.
To educate, to inform, and to inspire.
And you can be a part of it. We've built studios for you.
And welcome back. You know, our next guest is a former broadcast radio professional, author, actress, writer. She joined us to speak about her career transition from being in the Army to getting into journalism, writing, and broadcast radio, eventually highlighting books on race relations and so much more. Let's take a look at our conversation with Jeanette Davis. Jeanette, how are you? Welcome to the show, my veteran, beautiful person.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bob. It's been a pleasure. My family and I are thrilled for me being on your show, and we admire you and all the work that you've done. So I thank you so much for having me on.
Let me start off by saying I want to thank you for your service. You're a U.S. Army vet, right?
Yes, I am. Thank you, sir.
All right, so you came through all of that, and then you got out of the service after about 6 years, and then you got into broadcasting right away. How did it start for you?
Well, I went into the military to get the GI Bill because my father had passed, so I can get my education. Yeah. And I've always wanted to write. My father was a merchant seaman, and he traveled the world, and he used to bring me back slides and books of information about the different peoples of the world. So I said I wanted to learn how to write because I taught myself how to read at the age of 4 because of my interest in writing. But I didn't find, but as I traveled my course and going into broadcast journalism to get the skill, I noticed that I said, well, I want to write, but what do I write about? So I'm 75 now. So in my 20s.
No, you don't look 75. You're doing something right. You should write a book about that, how to keep yourself.
Thank you, sir. So I was, I had all kind of questions in my mind because I went to an all-black boarding school. And they taught us so much information about our history. And it was amazing to me how many people, our people, didn't know that history. So I began to ask questions. I said, these people had us enslaved, and they telling us to worship their God. and they're giving us this white Jesus. So I said, no, I have to find out the origin of all things.
All right. So you went to Morgan State University?
Yes, I did. That's the school of my choice. I wanted to go to Howard, but I was in the military, and it was too far a distance to travel to go back and forth to classes.
Uh-huh.
So my secondary choice was Morgan. Of course, it had to be a black institution. So
Yeah.
that's when I went. That's why I chose Morgan and broadcast journalism, because I wanted to learn how to write, get my skills down for writing. But I didn't yet know what I wanted to write about. So I said, well, I need more living and learning to do before I can write to help my people. And that was my main objective. So I started studying in my 20s the history of our people, going to the beginning of time as far back as we can go. And I was placed in certain positions to meet Dr. Asa Hilliard, to meet Mary McLeod Bethune, who came to the university, to the school that I was going to, because she was great friends with our president, Dr. Rena Cornelia Mallory. I met a lot of people who kind of steered me in the direction and gave me the answers of where I could find the information.
Yes.
So once I started finding the information and putting things together, I was saying, well, I can write some magazine articles. But then my mother got very sick, and I had to go to New Jersey to take care of her. We originally from New York, but she had moved to New Jersey. And when I went to take care of her, I laid everything on the carpet, and I said, I'm going to write some magazine articles. I'm not going to waste this time. But when I put it all together, I said, this is a book. And that's how Black Survival in White America was born. That was my first book, and that was in 1995.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yes,
from there.
yeah. And from there, I wrote The Great Divide Between Blacks and Whites, which was a black perspective on one side of the page and white perspective on the same issue on the second side of the page.
Yeah.
So I took that all the way through. Then my next book, the next book, that's not the next one. So the next one, in order, well, I'll just Master Being Human you brought up. So Master Being Human is the spiritual book that I said, well, our people need to advance and need to grow. But in order for us to advance and grow, we need to fix ourselves first. So we need to spiritually grow and to get rid of the slave mentality, which was us going along with the programming that was implemented upon us from the cradle. So I said, we need to get rid of that. And we also need to get rid of everything from slavery that's embedded in our culture. And I was, in my research, I found Dr. Joy DeGruy, and her presentation was one that was specific, and I have it on my website, post-traumatic slave disorder. So she mentioned the stuff that we need to remove.
Yeah.
So, and I said, well, we need to work on ourselves. So Master Being Human is what we need to do to work on ourselves so that we can, whatever happens on the outside of us, cannot affect what's going on inside of us. And that is not what happens on the outside of us, but how we react to it. But we have to master ourselves, and it takes a lot of work.
Yeah. I know when you said you were into the origins of things, it was sort of spiritual or metaphysical. When you talk about the origins of things, you want to go within and find out what's happening within, so that you can straighten out things that's happening on the outside.
That's correct.
So go into your subconscious world so that you can deal with things on the
right.
The
and what
outside.
steered me into that direction was my investigation into Egypt, into our ancestors and Ma'at, and all of the laws and all of the different religions. I became a Buddhist for 8 years, and that kind of helped me. It did help me. And it steered me in the right direction. And then I began to read the Bible in a different way, because then I knew where the Bible came from off the hieroglyphics. So I knew that the religions as they were constructed was not constructed from God. It was constructed from people wanting to rule other people. So when I got into that, then my grandparents had 19 children. So I've seen a lot of my relatives pass away.
Yeah.
Soulful Journey, the business of beings, came to life because I wanted to know, where does the spirit go when we pass? So this is my only fiction book, because that was my journey into spiritually trying to find out, where did the soul go?
Yeah.
And it's interesting how that worked out.
And this book right here?
No. Soulful Journey, the business of beings. That's the green book.
Yeah.
But now the one you just had up, Black Just Like My Mama, is my autobiography. And I wrote that because once you live and die, and all the people who know you die, it's like you never existed. So I wanted to write about this great Black family that I came from. and I wrote about them. And I also wanted people to see my journey and my mother's journey. I started writing about me, but she took over the book. You know, I found out I was writing more about her than me.
Your mom came in and said, wait a minute, what about me?
No. This was a book I was writing on my own without her knowing, but she just, her spirit just took over the book.
That's what I'm saying. And she said, what about me?
Yes, right. And so even though she was living a part of the time that I was writing it, but then she passed away. But the book itself is to encourage all people, no matter what you go through. And I've gone through a lot. Whatever you've gone through, no matter what it is, you have to reach deep down inside of yourself to persevere and bring yourself out of it with the God within you, connecting with the God in the universe to navigate your life. So we can never get out
That's a whole
of
nother
our life.
religion now. When you
Right.
do like
Well,
this,
not
the God in me
spirituality.
recognizes God in you. That's Hinduism.
Right. Well, you can look at they all lead to the same place, which is spiritual growth.
There's only one God.
That's right. That's right. Spiritual growth, no matter who you see God to be it the universe or whatever. But I never saw a white man up there. That was never in my vision. But anyway, so the book is to help others to, no matter what happens, to get through it. And then the next book, Echoes from the Heart, Love Throws Poetry, the poetry that I got, that my life in poetry, so to speak, and what the way I've seen things, the way I saw things. I never meant to publish Soulful Journey and Echoes from the Heart, but my niece encouraged me to go ahead and publish them because they were very personal books.
Yeah. Beautiful. So you've come on a writing journey. You've come through it.
Yeah,
and you bring a lot of people with you because that's why you write the book. You want people to follow you and get something out of these books that you've written. Then you went into broadcast journalism. Was that before or after writing the books?
No, that was at Morgan State. When I got out of the military, I went to Morgan State, and I went into broadcast journalism because of the fever I had and the thirst I had to learn the craft of writing.
So that helped you with writing the writing of the books.
That helped me with the technical part of the writing. What I did was I loved to read authors. Ayn Rand, who wrote Atlas Shrugged, I liked her descriptive ways that she described things in her book. And I said, I want to be able to describe things like this. Taylor Caldwell, I come from way back when they didn't have many black writers at the time. So Taylor Caldwell was what I used as far as what I grasped as far as someone sitting across from you like they're having a conversation with you. That's what I got from her. Yeah. From James Baldwin, I got the emotion. I got the stick to the point, be concise, say what you have to say, and don't hold back. Yeah. So I got that from James Baldwin. So and then County Cullen, and then you go to so many black writers that I studied, and I studied a lot of autobiographies and bibliography and biographies, and I even studied the biology of our bodies, that we are different from other people, and all this stuff is on my website.
Is all of this? What's the website? Because we need an hour to talk to you about all of this stuff, and they're wrapping me up right about now. But all of this we can find on your website, right?
Yes, www.JeanetteDavis.com. That's www.JeanetteDavis.com.
Listen, come back again because we need to sit down and talk more, okay?
My pleasure. Thank you.
You got it. Thank you. Jeanette Davis, author. She's got it going on. She's a journalist, too. She puts the pen to the paper also. You know what it said, to know where you're going, you have to know where you are, know where you've been to know where you're going. So we applaud Jeanette Davis. Jeanette, for the work that she is doing in educating others on race relations and on true history. We wish her all the best with everything that she's doing. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with more. We'll give it to you next on Open.
19.7% of Bronxites currently experience food insecurity. Meanwhile, instead of these nice, colorful foods, this is the best food that they have access to. If this sounds like you, there are a bunch of resources to get healthy food for free or cheap. If you want to help, you might consider donating or volunteering in one of these places. Community fridges like this one are all over the city and allow New Yorkers to conveniently donate extra food to people who might need it. Go to this link and find your nearest one. Food banks and pop-up events like these provide millions of healthy meals to families in need. These organizations are distributing meals to Bronxites as we speak and are always accepting donations and volunteers.
Only 57% of New York City high school students are college ready by their senior year. "55% of high school graduates either have no plans to attend college or are uncertain that they will ever attend. "34% of young adults don't go to college because they can't afford it. Discover what's possible. BronxNet's education programs, internships, and opportunities help engage and inspire Bronx youth and beyond to pursue their passions. Be a part of the BronxNet family. Whether you're interested in our shows, joining a class, or donating to support our mission, visit bronxnet.org to learn more.
Hey Creative Family, my name is Timothy Coleman and I'm the Director of Education here at BronxNet. And I'm standing in BronxNet's Media and Technology Studios in the South Bronx because I want to let you know about an amazing program that we're bringing back that highlights the creativity of community members just like you. Emerging Media Makers is a show that introduces you to BronxNet's certified producers. They've taken a step in their creative journey by enrolling in BronxNet's media training classes. On this show, you'll get to see the many ways that our certified producers have created a space that's all their own. Emerging Media Makers, your passion lives here.
Well, welcome back. You know, we are honored to host a Harlem, New York native gospel singer. She's a legend. She's an actress, an advisory board member of the African American Day Parade, and a director and producer also. She sits down with us to reflect on the annual African American Day Parade. Let's take a look at our conversation with Veronica Hickman. Veronica, welcome.
Hi, Dr. Bobley. How you doing?
Didn't I just see you?
A week ago or something, right? Are we all still recovering from that day?
Well, I'll tell you,
Those 2 days?
I was trying to get on or off of a motorcycle over there.
You're like, Bob, what are you doing? We need you to announce.
I found myself on my back. But we fall down, but we get up. I got back up on that motorcycle and took those hurting like heck. But anyway, it was a wonderful parade. And thank you for all the work that you've done, along with Yusef and the rest of the crew. Yeah. Thank you. So any highlights that you want to talk about?
Oh, man.
What stood out?
Okay, so starting with the pre-parade, I always tell people that I love the Macy's parade. I love the fact that they put like a show on in the beginning.
Yeah.
So I was very grateful when they allowed me to do something like what we call pre-parade show. We give a chance to young performers. We had some that came on your show like maybe 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Javier and Miriam. I always get her name wrong, I'm sorry. Yeah. And then we have we had two dancers, Bernardo and Barbara Grant. They came and they did like some swing dancing in the beginning, but we always do like a variety of different things. We had kids doing African dancing. We had little Rodney C doing some rapping.
Right.
So it was, I like what I like about it is that the people who come to see the show, they're excited about it and they like that it's different. It's a variety of different things going on.
And you see some of the same people. They go, Bob, and they have their spot behind the barricade every year. This is my spot right here. And you interact with them, and it's a whole lot of fun. And the people come through. People come from as far as, people come from all over the world, but you see a lot of people from Maryland, so we always ask for our crab cakes when they start
That's
coming.
right. They come, they shut that parade down at the end. I love when they come. It's all sizes and shapes, and they get up there and do what they got to do. Oh, I love it. I love it.
We have the sound system. We have a Melly Mel jumped on the stage.
Let me tell you, that was definitely a highlight for me. To make a long story, my late husband was friends with Melly Mel. It's like family. And so I spoke to somebody who knew him to see if he can come, but he wasn't able to come on that Saturday. But what happened was, I told my friend, if he just wants to stop by and say hi, maybe speak to Bob Lee or whatever, and then just left it alone. So I finished doing what I normally do, and I sat in the back. I get up and I look, and I'm like, oh my God, they made it. They actually showed up. Then I watched video, and then I see him up there rapping, doing his thing, and then I see you with your camera. I said, oh my God, I can't believe he got him to perform. So that was so mind-blowing. I was so grateful because he didn't have to do it, but he just showed up, and the crowd loved him.
Don't push me,
because
I went to the edge of the stage.
Edge.
But that's what he does, though. I mean,
he has such a heart.
Yeah, I mean, if he's somewhere and there's a microphone and, he'll get on that mic and he'll rock the house for you.
Oh, yeah.
And he does it every time.
Oh, my God. Because he definitely deserves more than what he gets. And his friend, shout out to John. Thank you, John, for making this happen also. And God, thank you. But just the fact that he came because he loves the people so much and he loves giving.
That's right.
So that was great.
How'd you get involved in the parade?
Well,
because you came from different places. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No, it's okay.
Because you did some Broadway work. You were in a number. Talk about that first and then come to the parade.
Into the parade. Okay, so as a younger person, okay, I would do like a lot of.
Still young.
Thank you, I appreciate that. My legs don't say that, but anyway, okay, my legs don't say that. But growing up, I used to go to a theater school called the Moss Repertory Theater.
Oh.
And it was run by the lady who played Mama Winslow on Family Matters. Right, Rosetta Lenore.
Right.
She had a children's theater, and she would put on plays, and we would have to do these actual grown-up plays, but we were kids. So I would do that, and then I would do auditions for like Color Purple. I didn't make it, but that's okay. Color Purple.
But you would try. You know how many people tried and didn't get in there?
Listen. I'm excited. But anyway, so I would do plays. I would do shows. I had recently did some off-Broadway shows. And then I also did I write my own plays. I did a play, an adaptation of the Christmas Carol, so it was called the Harlem-style Christmas Carol. So it was more like hip-hop and everything. And, when you're not doing the work, my mind is always busy. Like, what can I do? So I always
can tell from the phone calls
okay,
that I get
I'm
from
like,
you.
Bob, I'll call you, Bob. Listen, we got to do so-and-so, Bob. I'm sorry, I know you're busy, but can you can we work this out? So, but anyway, so what would happen is, I would go to the parade, and I'm going to be honest, okay? And the parades I went to, sometimes I was upset because thank you for all the support for the political, but I wanted to see some action. I wanted to see the bands. I wanted to see some entertainment. So I said, instead of complaining about it, why don't you see if you can help out, volunteer or whatever.
Right.
So a friend of mine named Cinchana, who was in there originally, she helped to get me there also. So once I got into the parade, I started volunteering as just doing whatever they asked me to do. Right. And then that's eventually when I brought up the idea, why don't we do a pre-parade show? They was like, okay, we'll give it a shot. And then once they liked it, then other things started to happen. So that's how that happened.
That's how that happened.
That's how it happened.
This is history. So now we're looking forward to the 55th. Yes.
I'm excited about that. You know what? You remember the singer named Lisa Morgan?
Yeah.
Okay. I think she's going to come and perform for us. So I'm excited about that, and I'm getting some other people that are ready to perform. I know it's kind of early, but my wheels are turning again. Okay, let me just have my list ready so I can get these artists together and get everything together.
There you go.
Yes.
We'll talk.
We'll
some tweaking and everything. We got to hear.
Yeah. So I'm like, Bob, you have so-and-so? No, not right now. Oh, okay, Bob. I'll call you back.
All right. Shoot. So what's coming up? You still doing acting or what?
Yeah, I do my acting every so often.
Oh, look at that showing a picture of you there.
Oh yeah, that's you. That's
there
us
you go.
At the press conference for the parade and everything. Yep, you always do a good job. So, I'm working on a play called The Ushers. Okay, now this is like the ushers from the old time churches. You know, the ones with the white shirts and the black bottoms and just the stuff that they go through behind the scenes. So we're gonna have
a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes.
Let me tell you something. They might be church women, but they'll be like, you better sit your behind down. You better come over here. Sit down. We ain't got no more seats. So it's gonna be a play on that. I'm really looking forward to that because it's gonna be a comedy. I just want people to come, have a good time, and it's gonna be fun. Like when you come in, you sit down, you're gonna be ushered by ushers in the play. So I'm excited about that.
I remember another person who started doing plays and stuff, and he kind of spun off into a circus type of thing.
Oh, yes, yes, the Universal Soul Circus.
Universal
Soul
Circus.
They came to our parade at the last minute. We didn't know that they were going to be able to come. So they came to our event we had first called Get Involved, and they brought a clown, Mr. Onionhead, right? Mr. Onionhead. And then on Sunday, they were with WBLS, and they brought their clowns. They brought the women all dressed up beautifully, and they had the guys on the stilts.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, listen, when I saw them, when they got to 125th Street, it's like I became a kid. You know, we usually stay behind the barriers while they're doing stuff, but I walk in the street. I was like, hi, how you doing? I know they was like, who is this grown woman getting so excited? But it was just so surreal. It was like, wow, they just added so much to the parade. So I'm excited because I'm also going to be helping them with these little, you know, anybody wants, I'll give them my social media later on. But they have these coupons they're giving out for the Fresh Clowns meetup. So people can come and meet the clowns before the show. So I kind of hooked myself up. And
see if you can hold it up in that camera
right
there.
Here. Listen. Okay.
Tilt it down just a little.
Just a little bit right here. Is that good?
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna give y'all my social media later on so y'all can get these coupons because we want y'all to come. So, but I'm excited about it. I just like helping out, you know, whatever it is, and I believe in encouraging the next person, you know, because everybody's had a hard time getting to where they need to get. So whatever I can do to help out, you know, whether it's paid or not, I'm just like, I'm there.
I know another person who did that also, started doing plays and started doing the things that you're doing now, writing plays and putting them on. I did the voiceover work for him.
Who?
Tyler Perry.
Stop playing. Don't mention his name right now. I've been trying to work with him for a long time. Oh yeah. So, you know, hey.
What do you want to do with him?
I would love to act. I have my,
there's the camera right there. Ask for what you want.
I've been waiting for this moment. Okay, Tyler Perry, listen. Okay, I'm from Harlem, New York. I got a character named Harlem Mar that would be great for your show. Listen, I'm gonna bring the comedy. Okay, so let's work this out. We need to show a TV sitcom in Harlem. All right, don't worry. I got the area for you. All right, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Prayers, everybody. Everybody, pray. Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
That's my friend right there. I always say hello to my little friend.
Say hello.
That's the camera right there that everybody, if somebody's doing a fundraiser, they come on, and that's the camera that they hang out.
That's it. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Lord have mercy. Imagine me getting a call, be like, yeah, how you doing?
I want 10%. I'm only kidding about that.
He deserves it, okay?
So what's next for you?
Oh, boy, let's see. I might revive my play, The Harlem Style Christmas Carol, because when I did it before, a lot of people, they really enjoyed it because we took the elements. It's the same play, you know, same movie, Christmas Carol, but our characters were different. It was like, you know, the ghost from the past, the diva, angel for the future.
And you getting that ready for the holidays now?
Not for this holiday, but I want to.
You're gonna get it ready for next year.
For next year.
Yeah. You're gonna put some time on that one.
Yes, I think it should be on TV. I mean,
why not?
Why not? Because we want to see the Harlem version of that.
Not?
You know,
We
I know
do
Nick
TV.
Cannon did his. That was cute.
Yeah.
I love you, Nick Cannon. But this one that I did, it involved like the people of Harlem, the women on 125th Street. Miss, you want your hair braid? Let me braid your hair, ma'am. You know, the bean pies, we did all of that. So people really, really was excited about it. So I hope to bring it back. Yeah. You know, and with some crazy characters in there.
Social media?
Yes, my Instagram, should I look at that camera?
Yeah, no.
Instagram page is Veronica_Hickman4.
There you go.
Okay, please reach out to me, and I give you more information about the tickets and about my shows coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had me laughing, but I was like clearing my lungs out laughing.
Trust me.
Veronica Hickman, actress, gospel singer.
Yes.
I should have had you sing us out.
Okay, let's see what we can do. You want
10 seconds. You got 10 seconds, yeah.
Long as I got King Jesus, long as I got King Jesus, long as I got King Jesus, I don't need nobody else. Woo! Yay!
There you go, Veronica. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for
and
having
you're always
me.
welcome, all right?
I appreciate it.
And I'll take that sandwich that you were trying to give me
I'm going to call Chick-fil-A up right now. Let them know, bring them sandwiches, okay, because you deserve them.
Veronica Hickman, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
I appreciate you.
And you know, we appreciate the great work that Veronica and other members of the African American Day Parade Advisory Board are doing each year to make the parade an amazing experience for the Harlem community and beyond. And we look forward to seeing what's coming up this year. I heard it's going to be broadcasted on television, or they're working on it. So we'll take a break and we'll find out all about that and a whole lot more. Keep it right here on Open. We'll let you know.
check your pulse, and turn off your phone. Get ready to be entertained. The Bronx Education is back, and we've got more youth voices, educational partnerships, exciting global discoveries with Alexi Gingertopoulos, dollar store science experiments with Dr. Whitey Black, and tons of ways for you to engage with us as we bring laughter and knowledge right to your doorstep. Me and the crew welcome you to Season 3 of The Bronx Education. The new season of The Bronx Education is here. Every Monday at 4:30 p.m. on Channel 67 Optimum, 2133 Fios.
Thank you, BronxNet. Congratulations on 30 years. What an amazing accomplishment. On behalf of myself, Alina Dow, and I represent the Dow Twins and the Dow Twins Show, who are young producers. They started, I think, when they were 11, and now they're 14. They started making 30-second little fun facts, and now they are doing 30-minute shows. And it goes to a testament of how much you guys do in the Bronx to make young people want to continue to be involved. I wish you 30 more amazing years and beyond. Thank you for what you do.
Happy anniversary to BronxNet, 30 years. Wow, brings back so many memories. This exact studio that I'm in right now, I broadcast out of here. This must have been around 2003. I mean, time flies by so quickly. I started out here, it was either Mr. Gary Axelbank and Mr. Batch with Lady Morsar. We used to do a show here called In the Neighborhood. And I brought so many different guests on this show. To be able to bring your voice to the community is very powerful. To bring hip hop and spirituality, I brought my pastor in this same studio, Pastor Gino Jennings, and I'm sure you guys know who Pastor Gino Jennings is. That's rough. And some disciplined teaching. BronxNet is something that we need to uplift our communities, because this is a platform that we can come, and if you have a vision that's in your mind going into your heart, you can use it to do uplifting things for your community.
And welcome back. You know, we sat down with an event planner and founder of All Access Community Development Corporation, and he joined us to speak about the various initiatives that he is involved with and to promote his Juneteenth event. Let's take a look at our conversation with Randy Glover.
Randy, how are you, man?
Hey, good afternoon, Bob. I'm well. How are you, sir?
Good, good, good. So you're always doing some wonderful things in the community. I mean, we can take it all the way back. Throw your foot out and slide it back, that Motown slide back on that foot. And we go back to WBLS and LaBar Bat on 57 back in the day.
Man, I mean, those were some fantastic times that we had at LaBar Bat. We did something that hasn't been duplicated since, which was bring the top talent, top R&B talent to New York City and allow people to touch them, whether it was Brian McKnight, whether it was anyone who was super popular. You could party with them. And then we had some comedy. We had the after party, and BLS and you were in the mix. I mean, it was in Midtown at LaBar Bat. And I still run into people who say,
we're going to revisit that. We're going to revisit it, maybe a big reunion. But tell us, what are you into now? Because you're always doing some great things, especially out there in Bergen County.
Yeah, you know, I'm a Bergen County resident. So what we've been doing specifically as you know, we talk about COVID and the effects it's had on our community, we basically pivoted to doing social services. And so what that means for us is dealing with isolation, food insecurity, and things like that. So with my All Access Community Development Corporation, we were feeding or servicing 3,000 meals a week, which was 1,500 meals on a Tuesday, 1,500 meals on a Thursday. We're also doing on-site registration for LIHEAP and for SNAP. And for those who don't know what SNAP is, that's food stamps. So instead of going to your county building or social services department, you were able to, and still are able to, come to our location in New Jersey and sign up for all of these services. We have a reduction. Our grant ran out for the 3,000 meals. So I'm purchasing 250 meals every week for seniors from Paula's in Bergen County in Hackensack. And then I'm here specifically to talk about Juneteenth this year, June 19th, where we're taking a stance that it's about passing that ceremonial torch. The older civil rights leaders, community activists, teachers, and things like that, I would like for them to take an emeritus role and pass the torch on to younger people, such as yourself and others who are active in the community now, that kids can see and they know who they are and know that these are the leaders to move us forward. I think that's one of the things that's hindered us as a people from moving forward. We're fighting the same fight that our fathers and grandfathers fought over 40 or 50 years, and there's no reason for that. And part of that is because no one's passing the torch. Everybody's reliving their glory days, and you know, they're not saying, "Hey, Dr. Bob, I know you're in the community. You have, you know, people know who you are. I want to help you with your initiative." You know, and that's what has to be done. You have all of these powerful Black people, but we're not like other cultures where we extend the hand and say, "Listen, I did this. I set it up. Now it's time for you to come in and take it to the next step."
Yeah, the abbreviated edition of Juneteenth is that during the Emancipation Proclamation, it didn't get to Galveston, Texas until about a year later. So
yeah, 2 years. Yeah, 2 years
eradicated, but they were still doing their thing out there in Galveston, Texas. So they celebrate. The information got there, June 19th,
yeah,
in the 1800s, and they decided to, pick this day, June 19th, to celebrate every year.
Exactly. And see, here on the Eastern Seaboard, we don't celebrate it. Like, you know, I fly out to Houston every 3 weeks to see my grandkids, and that's a big thing out there. But here, it really doesn't have much of a meaning. So that's why I'm trying to change it up a bit and make it relevant to the students as well as older, participants, and say, the lack of information that they had back then, we still have a lack of information right now, but that lack of information we're causing in our own community.
How important is it for you and our community to continue celebrating Juneteenth?
Very important for our community to grasp on the Juneteenth. The thing that I don't want to see happen is that it's commercialized where it's a shopping day. This year, Juneteenth, the June 19th is Father's Day this year. And then the next day is the holiday that the federal government is celebrating as Juneteenth. I don't want to see a Juneteenth sale at Macy's, just like I don't want to see a Martin Luther King Day sale. We have to watch out for that part of commercialization and stick to what these things actually mean for us as a community. And the only way to do that is to educate the young and old as to what these events in history actually mean to us and how we have to go further. And also the Amistad Project. Hardly anyone speaks about that. That's one of the issues that we want to include in the Juneteenth celebration is Amistad.
There you go. So where and when is this going to happen, this Juneteenth event? It's going to be in Bergen County, but it's going to be at the the area where you normally do a lot of that that work that you do? With that
Yeah,
big
correct.
outside?
Yeah, the amphitheater over there. So it's going to be at over Peck County Park in Bergen County, 199 Challenger Road on June 19th. And Bob has hosted many events there for me.
Yes.
It's a beautiful, beautiful location. You can go horseback riding, you can go canoeing, and this is all the scenery that's there while the concert is going on. We usually do a Bergen County Music Festival concert that Bob has hosted many times.
So you're going to be the band shell area. People bring out their own seats.
Yep, that's right. You bring out your beach chairs and
watch the show.
Exactly.
So, briefly, who are some of the people that are performing there?
I haven't nailed down the performers yet, because it has to be a little different. It can't be like, the classic soul stuff that we've been doing.
Yeah.
I want
a lot of entertainers there, elected officials.
Yeah, elected officials. Dr. Jeffries, Reverend Daltrey. A lot of the usual suspects as far as the consciousness and social movement area, and is important. And these are some of the gentlemen that need to, that are going to assist in passing the torch. And then also letting people see how wide our diaspora is, like having, representatives from the Black Jewish community, the Baptist community, Catholic community, Muslim community.
Is this posted up on your website? They're gonna wrap it real quick.
It's not posted yet. It will be within the next week.
What's the website?
The website is www.allaccess-cdc.com.
Randy Glover, Juneteenth event, a big one. Randy Glover, All Access Community Development Corporation, LLC. All right, go ahead, Randy.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you so much.
Hey, Randy, thank you so much for joining us, and you're always welcome to come back.
And we appreciate you, Randy Glover. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the work that you have done to elevate awareness on the importance of Juneteenth. We wish him lots of continued success with his All Access Community Development Corporation and look forward to seeing what he does in the near future. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. We want to thank you, our guests, for joining us, you, our viewer, for tuning in. And make sure you keep following us on BronxNet TV for continued coverage. We want to thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you. Always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice and let your choice control the chooser. The Dr. Bob Lee. And I'll see you over 107.5 WBLS. We love you all. Catch you another day, another way. Peace.